And people with hunting, they like to talk about that everybody should have the same opportunities. It's like almost like making it hunting socialism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, well, if you work your ass off, shouldn't you get better opportunities than somebody who doesn't do anything?
Of course.
I mean, but if, and also the guy who kind of coins this thing about whatever, everybody should have the same opportunities. It's like, he has a great job, gets tons of vacation. Doesn't he have an advantage over a guy who works in a mill who gets 2 days off a year?
But there's a lot of people that complain. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's just complaining is a normal part of human life when you're looking at other people's success and trying to find flaws in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very bad for you. And that's what people don't understand. It's not productive. It doesn't help you. And you could disagree or agree with people's approaches. You could think that everyone should only hunt on public land. You could have all these ideas, and you could debate those opinions, and you're more than welcome to. The problem is when you look to criticize instead of look at the good side of things. There's a lot of good to this. There's a lot of good to what you do. It's more good than anything. I see no negatives. The educating people about the value of this is very good. And during COVID, that's one of the real times where people realize, like, hey, this food chain's kind of fragile. Like Duncan texted me. He was at a supermarket in North Carolina where he's living, and he's like, dude, there's no meat. He goes, I got to learn how to hunt. I was like, wow, that is a moment when you have children and you have a family and you start realizing, like, we might not have nutrition. No. And now you realize, like, oh my God, I need another skill.
I'm susceptible.
Yeah, we're all vulnerable.
Yeah.
And, obviously, for the most part, we're not. Obviously, for the most part, we do have supermarkets, we do have food, and that's all great and everything. But we're trying to tell you that there is another way that's vastly more rewarding. It might not be available to you because you might not have the time. You might have a job that requires you to work 51 weeks a year, then you have a family and a lot of obligations. And I understand. But don't hate on people that can.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's stupid. It's just a waste of your time. It's a waste of everybody's time. And you're just going to get a bunch of losers that like you.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be like, yeah, socialism's awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's, I don't know. I feel, I mean, it's one reason why if we can educate people like when Andrew comes or like the other, quote, outliers who I've had on who might not be hunters but can go and take the lessons archery teaches you, and maybe we talk about hunting, and then they go back to their peer groups or whatever it is, their constituents, and they're saying, well, actually, I did learn this about hunting. And so and your podcast has done that, obviously, educated so many people who don't know anything about hunting on the benefits to it. But it's, I don't know, it's so important. And we're not saying everybody needs to hunt, just have a honest take on it.
Yeah, and I think that there's real value in doing something that's very difficult, whether it's hunting or ultramarathon running or jiu-jitsu or whatever it is that you choose to approach. There's real value in doing difficult things. And the thing about bow hunting that makes it so special to me is that it requires so much of you. And so that when you are successful, it's so rewarding. It's insanely rewarding. It's rewarding on a different level that most people don't understand. Mm-hmm. And many people never get to experience in life. To this day, one of the happiest moments of my life was you and I in Utah.
I know. It's the
that
picture
photo
right out
that we
here.
have right out here. That photo with that elk was 67 yards, and you're like, draw back, take him, buddy. And it's just, you see that arrow with that lighted knock just sail and schwap, and hit perfectly.
Oh, God. And if you didn't know how much that meant and how much pressure that was and how much was riding on it, we were like smiling and hugging and I love you.
Yeah.
And like, if you didn't understand, you'd look at that and go, what is wrong with these guys? Right. But there's so much riding on it.
Yeah.
And so it's just that, you achieve this monumental goal with somebody, sharing it with people you care about, because Colton was there too.
Yeah, it's hard for people to understand also because a lot of people's exposure to hunting has been hunting television shows.
Right.
They're doing these shows for other hunters and who are going to understand this, and they're condensing a 7, 8, 9-day trip into 22 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just a disproportionate experience for people that are watching it. You're not getting how hard it is. You're not getting the 8-10 miles in the mountains with elevated heart rate and how exhausted you are at the end of the day when your legs feel like rubber and you're pounding electrolytes and you're eating like a starving person, and then you look at your watch like, I better go to bed right now because I got to get up at
4
5.
hours of sleep.
Yeah, I got to go to bed right now. And then you get up and you do it all over again. You drink some coffee and you get out there and you check your sight, you check your bow, let's go. And people that have never experienced that, they're not going to understand it. But I think you do an amazing job of relaying it to people where they kind of get a glimpse without actually experiencing it. They kind of understand it from your passion, from your ability to explain it, your ability to like be like totally honest about the emotions and the feeling and the dedication, the hard work and what's required of it. And even rifle hunting. Rifle hunting's not easy.
No.
It's easier than bow hunting.
Yeah, it's that presentation, especially nowadays, is important. And I was reminded of this. Went and trained with Rich Froning in Nashville, and
he's bow hunting too now, right?
He's bow hunting, but he killed a bear with a rifle in Colorado, and he's getting death threats and everything because he's a CrossFit, world's fittest man 4 times. He's a complete freak, but he's like been enamored with hunting now. And so he killed this bear this year, a big bear. He had a picture because he worked his ass off. So he gets this bear killed. He's happy. He's got a picture of this big bear and a big smile. And I just told him, I said, that is hard. That's hard for people. And I learned the hard way. It's like I made the same mistake too. So now I build a story. I share, the animals out there, the country out there. I don't share the kill shot till after I've shared breaking it down and the meat and what it means. And then at the end of all that, you'll see the kill shot. But because he's a new hunter and was fired up, he's a big smile with that bear, and that's the post.
Yeah.
And no fault of his. Like anybody would do that. But with social media, it's like they'll crucify you.